What's up, everybody? Welcome to BioS3 Raw TV. I've talked pretty openly about the sweeteners in these different soft drinks, these no-calorie drinks. I've talked openly about the sweeteners in food and how I personally feel like there are chemicals in the food that are cancer-causing agents and disease-causing agents in the food. And some people make fun of me, but other people, you know, they're kind of doing their own research, and that's cool. That's what I want, you to do your own research. I was passed along this this bit of information. It's an article that talks about Pepsi, and what I did was I actually did some research, and it's true. So it's not just like a written article trying to bash whatever. It's actually true. The information is actually true. It says Pepsi admits its soda contains cancer-causing ingredients. Now, this is going back like a couple years ago. Check this out. So those of you that are like, wow, you know, the sweeteners are not that bad for me, and I keep telling people over and over again, it's not just about the sweeteners. It's about the chemicals that they put in the foods. Now, I was unaware that this chemical was actually in these sodas. I don't drink this stuff anymore, but I did used to drink this. Now, bear in mind, when Pepsi talks about individuals not drinking enough to harm them, they're talking about individuals drinking less than a can of Pepsi a week. Well, let's just kind of get, how many people do you know drink less than a can of Pepsi in a fucking week? Very, very fucking few. So maybe one a week, that would be the very least, which is more than what they were thinking, but usually one a day, two a day. I mean, that's the general consensus with people drinking stuff. They said that it actually contains, Pepsi intentionally covered up the presence of high levels of 4-mel in its popular soft drinks in 2013. The company denied both the presence of this chemical. They said it wasn't in there. Not that, well, there wasn't high levels. It's not in there. We don't use it. That's what they said, right? It denied both the presence of the chemical in its beverages and the fact that it was dangerous. 4-mel, which is short for 4-methylimadiazole, anyways, is a compound that is formed in the manufacturing of caramel coloring and is a known carcinogen. Okay, first of all, a known carcinogen, and why did they deny that it was in there? They tried to deny it. It's in there. Somebody's going to fucking test your product and find it. Why the fuck? It doesn't make any sense. But anyways, since then, the drinks maker has fought against complying with California state requirements to place a cancer warning on the label. This is still going on. They want, so it's like when you smoke, it says, you know, smoking may kill, may cause cancer. California's regulations want a fucking thing on the can that tells you drinking this fucking soda may cause cancer. And they're fighting it. They don't want to do it because people are going to stop fucking drinking, obviously, right? It's Pepsi, Diet Pepsi, and Pepsi One. All three of them contain it. There was a settlement and a class action lawsuit. Part of the settlement, Pepsi has agreed to ensure its caramel coloring 4-mel levels do not exceed 100 parts per billion. They're not going to take it out. They're going to leave it in there and then drop the levels on it, right? Because the levels were too high. So they know it's there. They lied about it. The levels are too high. We're going to adjust it a little bit and drop the levels, but we're going to leave it in there, right? The caramel coloring, so they can have special color, you know, to look like it. It says that the soft drink giant also agreed to take these measures in a different lawsuit that was settled in California state court last year. The new settlement, however, expands the reach of these measures to California, to the entire country. It says Pepsi failed to warn consumers that the drinks contain a known carcinogen. The lawsuit accused Pepsi of failing to warn people that its beverages contain 4-mel, which is California has officially recognized as a cancer-causing chemical. 2014, Consumer Reports. Why hasn't this been talked about in any of these fitness channels, these fitness health channels? Nobody fucking, oh no, diet soda's fine. There's no calories in it. Nobody's talking about this shit at all. But we're fully aware there's fuck tons of cancer. There's fuck tons of disease that I'm right. The motherfuckers saying that this shit all went on when I was a kid are fucking wrong. I am telling you that I am right. The fact that there is way more fucking things going on now than there was when I was a kid. But this shit wasn't going on when I was a kid. The fucking foods were more pure. Now, 2014 Consumer Reports shows that 4-mel in Pepsi exceeded the permitted level of 29 micrograms per bottle or can, which would mean that they were in violation of common law and consumer protection statutes in the state of California. Now, you know, there's a whole bunch of other shit in here. Just it talks more about it. It says the caramel coloring is the world's most widely used food coloring at the time. They try to say because Prop 65 refers, so it's like a Proposition 65, refers to exposure per day rather than exposure per can. So this is what they were looking at. They were like, well, you know, if you only drink that one can for the whole day, then it's not really that bad. Well, what if somebody drank 6 cans a day for 2 years or 6 months or whatever? It's not uncommon for somebody to drink 2-3 Diet Pepsis a day. That's not uncommon. That would actually put you way over the fucking limit. They're looking at it as someone consumed half a can in a week. And they weren't even worried about the day. Now they start talking about the day. They said there was no need to place a warning on it if that's how people were using it. They know. They don't want people to fucking drink a can a week. They want people to drink fucking 10 cans a day so they could sell more. Why the fuck would you want a product that you're only selling fucking 1 can, like you sell a fucking 12-pack a year? That doesn't make any fucking sense, right? No matter how much consumers drink, they don't expect their beverages to have potential carcinogen in them. Okay, that's true. Never once did I ever look at soda, whether it's, I mean, I knew there's high sugar content, but never once did I ever look at soda and say, this could cause cancer. Now, saccharin in toothpaste, sodium saccharin, that was well known. So they pulled the NutraSweet and stuff off the market, right? It's still on the market, but they pulled it out of a lot of products because it could cause cancer. And then on the NutraSweet packet, it said this product has been known to cause cancer in lab rats. Okay, it wasn't even in humans, but because it caused cancer in lab rats, they had to put a disclaimer on there to make people aware so they can make their own decisions so that if they don't want to consume something that might be a carcinogen, they don't have to, right? Well, Pepsi didn't do that. They just fucking left it out. They just, we don't even know. Okay, it's fine. Well, it's not that big of a deal. Well, a lot of people think it's a big deal, especially when they're drinking large amounts of it and they didn't know it was in there. So it's kind of like a smoke and mirrors bullshit in their part. He said, we don't think 4-ml, this is the Consumer Report, should be in any foods at all. Our test of Coke samples show that it's possible to get much lower levels. So Coca-Cola puts this in their products also, but they have a much lower level where they wouldn't consider it a big deal. However, Coca-Cola also has it. So I mean, me personally, I haven't looked at a Coca-Cola can, but is there a fucking label on that saying it's in there too? Like, if there's not a disclaimer on there, what the fuck? Coca-Cola has it in it, but like, well, I could drink Coke because there's less of it in it. Like, anyways, it's in there. It's just so you know it's in there, right? They talk about the cancer-causing caramel color in Pepsi is not the only reason consumers should steer clear of it. Soft drinks are also believed to be behind the nation's obesity epidemic. Now, they also talk about a whole bunch of other stuff, but I kind of want to focus on just that one aspect of it, right? Because they also go into talking about the fact that the sugar-free drinks actually can trigger in your brain a need for sugar, a want for sugar, because you're still getting that signal to your brain. That's why people drink them. They go, oh, I'll drink the diet instead. That way there I get my sugar fix or takes care of my sweet tooth. Well, you're still getting that whole kind of dopamine release in your brain. It gives you that feeling that you're looking for. Well, what happens is, yes, these drinks don't contain calories. What happens when that gets triggered in some individuals, not everybody, but some individuals, that doesn't get shut off. They constantly want more sugar. Like they're looking for the dopamine rush. The brain wants it. So therefore, it literally stays switched on and people wind up binging on stuff like candy and sodas and all kinds of random shit and not being able to control themselves. And they don't know why. They call it a sweet tooth. They call it a breakdown in fucking, a breakdown in nutrition. I've heard it say, well, I've had a breakdown in nutrition. What the fuck does that breakdown in nutrition? But bottom line is, there are things that these drinks cause. And if you're walking through life thinking that it's not real, that it fucking doesn't matter, maybe it doesn't matter to you. But there are fucking millions of people out there who are going to have problems with sugar cravings if they use these fucking products. Other ones that are undeniably going to get fucking cancer from the chemicals in these fucking things. And everyone else, when they walk into that fucking octocologist's office, they're going to look for everything else that could have caused fucking cancer except for this. They're not even going to ask them if they drank fucking 2 gallons of Pepsi a day or 2 gallons. They're not even going to fucking ask. Now, this is just the diet sodas. There are other foods that I have fucking looked at purposely online. Until they pop up, you can't talk about it because then they can sue you for fucking talking shit about them. But there are other companies that put other additives and chemicals that are carcinogens. Now combine those foods with the fucking shit that you're taking in here from the Pepsi, which it's a fact. It's in there. You're getting a lot more than you need. I mean, a lot more than you should. You know, these tests were done to a certain level. You're hitting that level and beyond when you start combining all these foods with these chemicals and then not being aware that they're in there. At least if they put the fucking thing on the label, you're one of these people that fucking really care. You could be like, well, I don't want to have anything with that in it. Or you could say, look, I had a couple Pepsis today, which gave me some of this fucking chemical. I'm not going to have this food because it has it in it too. I don't want to do too much of it. You have your own choice to make your own decisions based on the knowledge that you have. The problem is, none of these companies are doing that. They're denying the existence of the fucking chemical even there, and then you believe them. And then when people like me say something, you think I'm fucking nuts. This is just the tip of the iceberg. This shit's been going on since fucking 2014, and nobody in the fucking fitness industry, nobody in the health industry, nobody's fucking talking about this shit. All the people doing IIFWM, all the other fucking coaches doing the fucking diets for people that are telling them to fucking drink tons of Diet Coke and shit because why? It helps you through your diet, all the Diet Mountain Dew, all that bullshit. And this is what's really going on. So how well do you really know the people that are giving you the information? And why the fuck aren't you guys finding this shit? If I'm finding this shit, you can easily find it if you care. If you don't care, that's cool. But bottom line is, there's a lot of fucking people that would like to know this information that care. BioStrengthTraining@gmail.com. Leave comments down below, but don't fight. www.biostrength.com is a blog. It's the No Carcinogen Bicep, and we are